Welcome to B&M English Podcast. Today, we are talking about something we all do, but usually hate. We are talking about making mistakes.
That is a great topic, Bruno. Many English learners feel so afraid of making a mistake that they choose not to speak at all. But errors are actually a beautiful part of learning.
They really are. In fact, I made a very big mistake last weekend. I decided to try baking a simple loaf of bread for the first time. I wanted that warm, soft bread you get at a luxury bakery.
That sounds lovely. How did it turn out?
Well, I missed a step in the recipe. I think I forgot the yeast, or maybe I did not wait long enough. When it came out of the oven, it did not look like bread. It looked exactly like a heavy, dark gray brick. I dropped it on the kitchen counter, and it made a very solid, loud thud.
A brick? That does not sound very delicious, Bruno. But that is exactly what we call trial and error.
Trial and error. I like that phrase. I had a lot of trials, and definitely a very heavy error.
Exactly. Trial and error means trying different methods and learning from the mistakes until you get the right result. Our brains actually need those messy moments to understand what works and what does not.
Speaking of messy moments, I think the hardest part is how we look to other people. I hate looking silly. I mean, it is fine when I am alone in my kitchen with a concrete loaf of bread, but in front of a crowd? That is terrifying.
It really is, Bruno. But we all go through it. A few years ago, I had to give a big presentation to a room full of professional teachers. I wanted to say, we need to focus on our core goals. But instead, I confidently said, we need to focus on our cold goats.
Cold goats. I hope someone gave them warm blankets.
Exactly. I realized what I said immediately. My face felt so hot, and I just stood there for a second. But then I smiled, corrected my vocabulary, and kept going. Nobody laughed angrily. They just smiled gently, because they understood it was just a simple slip of the tongue.
That takes a lot of courage. I usually just try to avoid the problem completely. For example, last month, I bought a beautiful wooden bookshelf that came in a flat box. I decided I did not need the instruction manual because I wanted to feel independent.
I can see where this is going. How does the bookshelf look now?
It is very crooked, Mary. If you put a book on the top shelf, it slowly slides all the way to the left and falls off. It looks like a leaning tower of books. I should have read the manual, but I was too proud to look like I did not know what I was doing.
See? We often hide our mistakes or avoid asking for help because we worry about our pride. But when we accept that we are going to look a bit silly at first, whether it is speaking a new language or building furniture, the fear goes away. That is how we build real confidence. Building confidence takes time, especially for language learners. When you are speaking English and you suddenly forget a word, it can feel like a massive disaster. But there are very practical, calm ways to handle it.
I usually just freeze or stare at the ceiling. I mean, it feels like my mind completely blanks out. But I guess we can use simple phrases to give ourselves more time to think.
Exactly. You can naturally say things like, "Let me see," or "How do you say it?" These phrases are great stepping stones while your brain looks for the right vocabulary. A stepping stone is something that helps you move forward to reach a goal.
A stepping stone. I like that. It sounds much better than just standing there looking confused. I suppose it also helps to practice in situations where the pressure is very low.
Yes, we call those low-stakes situations. Talking to yourself in the mirror, writing a private journal, or practicing with a very close friend. The stakes are low, so if you make a mistake, it does not matter at all.
So, if I practice my English by talking to my crooked bookshelf, that is a low stakes situation. The bookshelf will not judge my grammar. It might just drop a heavy book on my foot.
That is a very safe way to practice, Bruno. And when an error does happen in public, the best thing to do is simply shake it off. Just accept it, forget about it quickly, and keep moving forward with your conversation.
Well, I think that is all the time we have for today. My crooked bookshelf and I need to go have a serious conversation about gravity.
Please be careful, Bruno. Before we leave our listeners today, we want to share our B&M Weekly Challenge.
Right. The challenge this week is very simple. We want you to try something completely new, something small where it does not matter at all if you fail.
It could be trying a new recipe, speaking a sentence of English out loud to yourself, or even trying to assemble a small piece of furniture. Just give yourself permission to make a mistake.
And if it turns into a concrete brick or a leaning tower, just shake it off and enjoy the learning process.
Exactly. Thank you so much for listening to B&M English Podcast. We will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep making beautiful mistakes.